He don't read my people as he don't boss as the Biafra Nations League has done it again once more, which has put your one and only Jagaban in shock as their oil installation has been brought down, attacked by the BNL. My people now, so it go they hot. Anytime when it comes to anything we concern the Biafra movement, it is a well prepared movement, and anything we want happen go happen without delay. Yes, my people will be going into the details of this news as see the hot. So yes, the latest one as it be right now is that the Biafra Nations League has seized control of a major oil installation, of course, close to the Niger Delta region, which has further escalated the conflict and dealing a severe blow to Zoo's economic lifeline. Yes, the attack has taken place, and the BNL forces overtaking the facility after a brief standoff with the security personnel, or that of course the people they put in place to actually secure the area. The oil installation, which is one of the largest, of course, in the region, accounts for a significant portion of the Nigeria's crude oil production and revenue. The takeover has shocked through Nigeria's oil industry, with fears of production disruptions and a spike in global oil prices. Yes, and Expert has estimated that the halt in operations at the facility could cost the country millions of dollars in revenue daily, which they would normally still take and would not affect. I repeat, would not even affect anything at all. It is still in this same economy that the fuel has risen to 1,500 and so on and so forth. So my people, what is even the need of the amount of money that is made daily, since it is of no use and the people are not even benefiting from it? So my people, it is of a waste, because these are the amount of money they log into their accounts and take every day, sharing what is ours to themselves. My people, taking and the attack on this particular movement is crucial, and I believe it is what is needed one way or another. The Zoo government already grappling with a halt, and everything that is happening is struggling to regain control of the situation. President Tinubu has declared the movement, that is the Biafra movement, as a national threat, and emergency meetings have been held to address the crisis. Nothing will be able to stop what we've decided to go on. I repeat, nothing. And this is because these people have refused to hearken to the warnings of the movement of PM Simon Ekpa and everything that has been coming against. At this point, he has refused. And so because of that, anything they see, let them take it that way, because of course we know how far and how deep we've gone, and how we have really suffered in the hands of this set of people to be where we are right now. And we are not going to keep allowing it to happen. They will have to listen to us one way or another. Okay, they says that the of course it is known that this was done by the BNL, and they have said that this is just the beginning, and said the spokesperson, and Nigeria's stronghold on our people and resources will end. My people, it is as easy as ABCD. Let this particular set of people go. Give us permission, give us a referendum, and we will not have any problem with you. We would simply disappear, and would settle the issues that are meant to be settled with borders as it should. But then you people have decided to hold us fair and square, to put us in bondage, to look for a way to cleanse us. Well, if that is what you have, that if that is the decision they have made, then they have failed woefully, because we are not going to let any of it happen. Not at all. Okay, my people, as see the hot, this is what we have for you. The next thing you will be hearing would be what is connected. The PN giving us a hot, fearful broadcast as it hot on this level. Okay, my people, enjoy.
The formalization of Biafran state structures, post-occupation and post-liberation. Everything, before we even talk about anything, we are going to first of all liberate ourselves from Nigeria, and this transitional government is post-occupation and post-liberation, post-occupation of Nigeria in Biafra territory and post-liberation after we must have, evicted Nigeria from Biafra and liberate ourselves from Nigeria. Then we begin to talk about transitional government. We haven't even come to BRGIE. We haven't come to, I want you to follow. Borrow ear this evening. Borrow ear this evening. Borrow ear this evening. I know the reason I said that. Not for insult. I know the reason I said that. Now, to secure Biafra people and its territory, the Biafra Republic government in exile has formed and deployed the Biafra Liberation Army, BLA, Biafra Resistance Fighters, BRF, and Biafra Air Force, Biafra Navy, the Black Marines, and the Dragon Fighters Marine. Structures of BDFG. The Biafra de facto government shall consist of two arms. Now, Ugo Ebelugonambawu, and I want everybody to listen. Ugo Ebelugonambawu. Now, the functions of BDFG, Biafra de facto government in the homeland. Now, the Biafra de facto government shall consist of two arms. A Biafra Republic government in exile, BRGIE, which is number one, based outside of Biafra. Remember, the Biafra government consists two arms. Number one is BRGIE, which is based outside of Biafra. And number two, a Biafra government within Biafra, to be known as Biafra Republic government in the homeland, known as BRGH. Biafra Republic government in the homeland. Now, both arms shall function in tight coordination and in harmony with the BRGIA in the apex role. The BRGIA will be in the apex role, which is Biafra Republic government in exile, will be in the apex role, because every decision and things we will be doing will come from BRGIA down to de facto in the homeland. Right? Now, let's continue. Functions of BDFG. The sole function of Biafra Republic government in exile and Biafra de facto government is to carry out the mandate of the Biafra de facto government as stated in the Biafra Charter Authorization. BRGIE shall respect laws of host communities in furtherance of this mandate. BRGIE shall respect international laws dealing with self-determination and protection of human rights and rely in particular on the Geneva Conventions Protocol 2. BDFG, Biafra de facto government in homeland will work with our peoples at home. Will work with our peoples at home in Biafra territory and in Nigeria
remained adamant that he probably is not going to allow this. He said the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. That clearly indicates that he's not going to relent in his push to silence any voice of dissenting as far as that position is concerned. So which way forward to heal the divide between or amongst the Nigerians, especially on Biafra crisis?
I think the best thing is to ask them what they want. I remember one time Professor Wole Soyinka said, if we can continue fighting Biafrans for such a long time, it's not long before we go to war, which is actually happening right now. Why don't we ask them what they want? And for sure they have voiced and they have said it, that they want referendum. Why? Because for a long time, they do not have a mutual understanding with the rest of the Nigeria nation. They are not understood. They are marginalized for such a long time. They are not wanted by the rest of the Nigerian government. So the best thing is to take them to a referendum so that we know exactly what they want and separate them if that is exactly what they want. Why? Because if we continue like this, these are crises not only in Nigeria, but it will have a ripple effect to the bordering countries. And with time, it will have a big effect to the African countries. As I'm talking, Africa has the largest immigrants to the world. It has the largest refugees to the rest of the continents. Why is that so? It's because of such crises that we can see in Biafra and Amazonia and other countries like Sudan. So I think before we even move forward, it's very important that we give or they're given referendum. From there, they can be able to sort out the rest of the challenges. And it's quite unfortunate because we have diplomatic missions in Nigeria. Why can't they take that issue with them and sort it out? Why are they quiet? Why is the world quiet when Biafrans are suffering? Why is the world quiet when we know very well that such issues can affect the whole of the African continent? It's quite sad, and that's why as Punchline Africa TV will continue talking to the world and saying that these people need a referendum. They're not needed. If you don't need me in your space, give me what I want so that I can self-govern myself, which I think it's a good way and a diplomatic way of allowing people to go their way.
Mm-hmm. That would be cool. Coupled with that, I would like you to approach it from a different angle altogether. What probably could have informed this agitation for, of course, separation, for a referendum to go separate ways between, of course, Nigeria and the people of Biafra? Let's approach it from that angle as you and ask ourselves, what probably can we do to see into it that we find a healing in this divide?
Yeah, I think it's paramount to understand that for starters, there was no redemption, and the word you just used, healing, from the first Biafran crisis in 1967, to the 3 years fighting. And if you remember very well, there was a brief period where they got their independence, and then the Nigerian military decided to send all the planes to just bomb indiscriminately anybody who was found in that region. And those scars are passed on in what is called transgenerational trauma. You don't even have to tell your child about this. It's the same thing that affects most African countries. You don't really need to tell your child, hate this person or hate this person, but the way you behave and the way you talk about these things and the tone with which you use, your children pick that, and then they grow up with that. They send it to their children and their children's children, and each generation comes forth understanding their history and knowing very well that we are the people who have been marginalized in a country where we are one of the most, we are creating profit. We're bringing GDP, one of the highest rates of GDP. We're bringing the largest group of intelligent people. We're bringing the largest group of talented people. And yet we are the people who are not benefiting from all this. And this crisis goes on in most of the countries that we are finding, we are finding, in the African continent with protests currently like Amazonia and Ethiopia. If you bring in another angle of...
All right, please let me know if my voice is coming out clear now. Please let me know so we can continue. Very, very important. Let me know. If you can hear me, please let me know in the comment section, my wonderful people of Biafra and, of course, lovers of freedom. Can you hear me? The very moment we went into the main point that has brought us here today, boom. Boom. Osetia. The very moment. Because that very chapter or should I say page, that very page 27 was the straw that breaks the camel's back. That page 27, once I'm done with that page 27 this evening, those of you who have been confused all this while, we know your stand. Those of you who didn't know where you stand will definitely come to realization, will definitely know your stand. Once I'm done with the page 27, which I'm bringing back now, you all will know where you stand. So relax, calm down. One thing I will assure you, one thing I will promise you is that, listen, because I did not listen to any of them, any of these two groups fighting, I didn't listen to their personal and individual conversations. I wanted a meeting. I called for a meeting. They disappointed me. They all disappointed me. So I have to go and follow the Biafra law. Because we have a law already. We already have a law which all of them. Somebody say, please go back to page 26. Okay, fine. I will start from the ending part of page 20. Maybe that is where my voice, maybe I don't know if it was attack or what. And I also want to use this opportunity to announce that we are no longer, in fact, let me keep that one for now. We will get there later. We'll get there later. So I'm bringing it back to the screen. I am not in any way following anybody. Right? I am showing you where our Prime Minister stands. And wherever our Prime Minister stands, that is where I stand. And our Prime Minister cannot enact law and do otherwise. Something that has been signed into law of Biafra, which they all joined together to sign. Which all of them joined together and signed into law in Finland during the convention. So, in as much as that is where our Prime Minister stands, then I will have no problem standing there at the same time. Now, I'm going to continue with the ending part of the page 26 because someone has already asked me to go back to page 26. Probably that is where my voice stopped, coming out. Can you hear me? Please let me know in the comment section so that we'll continue immediately without wasting any further time. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, please? If my voice is coming out clear, let me know now so we continue. Very, very important. All right. So we'll continue now. Let us continue. Now, functions of BDFG. The sole function of Biafra Republic Government in Exile and Biafra de facto government is to carry out the mandate of the Biafra de facto government as stated in the Biafra Charter Authorization. BLGIE shall respect laws of host communities in furtherance of this mandate. BLGIE shall respect international laws dealing with self-determination and protection of human rights and rely in particular on the Geneva Convention's Protocol 2. BDFG will work with our peoples at home in Biafra territory and in Nigeria, cognizant of the state of Nigeria's occupational forces foisted over our people, to keep alive and project Biafra's sovereignty and independence in accordance with the mandate and to mobilize. Now, pay attention. I want you to remember here because we are going into the next page. And to mobilize, right? To mobilize and do what again? Or one day about this evening. After this broadcast, Yakbotobazia. Now, and to mobilize from the other page. Now, this is page 27. Organize and manage our people for socio-political activism in order to carry out our resolve for self-determination. Now listen and listen very, very attentively, my Biafran people. At all times, the functions of BLGIE and BLGH, Biafra Republic Government in Homeland, are to be well coordinated, harmonious, complementary, and seamless. Following the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria, the Biafra de facto government. Oh, now, this is where we are now. It says, following the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria, the Biafra de facto government consisting of BLGIE and BLGH together shall form the nucleus of the transitional government of Biafra. Oh, should I explain it? Do you want me to explain it in Igbo language so that you will understand it? Following the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria. It did not say following the redeclaration of Biafra in Finland. It said following the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria, the liberation, following the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria, the Biafra de facto government, consisting of BLGIE and BLGH together, BLGIE meaning Biafra Republic Government in exile, and BLGH, Biafra Republic Government in homeland, together shall form the nucleus of transitional government of Biafra, which is exactly what the Prime Minister talked about. The conversation, the broadcast that I played for you before we entered into this very Biafra charter, where I will still play it again for you if you want, where our Prime Minister talked about transitional government. When the recognition starts coming in, I hope you outline that. I hope you remember that. Now, this very Biafra charter, the Biafran law, says the Biafra Republic Government in exile and Biafra Republic Government in the homeland together shall form the nucleus of transitional government of Biafra. And remember, it says here, following the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria. Don't let these words confuse you. Following the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria. It never said following the declaration of Biafra in Finland. Following the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria, the Biafra de facto government consisting BLGIE and BLGH together shall form the nucleus of the transitional government of Biafra. Do you know what it means? BLGIE, Biafra Republic Government in exile, together, when you all in exile must have come back home with all your offices. You have come, minister of this, minister of that, all of you will come back home after the liberation of Biafra, when the United Nations must have recognized our existence as a nation and our flag hosted high at the United Nations Geneva. Our flag hosted high, flying high in Geneva, United Nations. Then all of you who are serving under the Biafra Republic Government in exile will come back home with joy and gladness. Now meet all of us who are in de facto government in the homeland here. You all shall meet us here. We will all come together and then form the nucleus of transitional government of Biafra. Even na kowalogi bife delo na our own law. Not what I'm not talking just for talking's sake. I am telling you what is written on our own law, that all of them signed on 20th of October 2023, where they all gather for the first convention in Finland. That is what I'm translating to you. That is what I'm reading for you. Shall form the nucleus of the transitional government of Biafra, known as TGB, under the direction of the peoples of the nation of Biafra, in order to conduct... oh my goodness me, my brain is busting. After this, if you want to go and read for yourself, I will allow you to go there, go and read. You can even read it online. I will send you the link if you want the link. Go there and read. It is under Biafra government, not under me. I do not control it. Now, under the direction of the peoples of the nation of Biafra, in order to conduct the governmental affairs of Biafra, remember, guided by the Biafra Charter. Ona fukwayo fumak, or do you want me to zoom it again? Ona cholo can zoom kwayo zok. Let me try. Not me. I am not the one saying. I am reading for you what the government of Biafra said. What the law of Biafra said. Not what I'm saying, not what I want. It is not what I want. We are following the rule of law made available by the Biafran people that gathered to sign it into law, and supervised by the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in Exile, His Excellency Ekpa Simon Njoko, signed into law. And since then, this very charter is what we have been following till now. It says, following the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria, the Biafra de facto government, consisting of BRGI and BRGH, together shall form the nucleus of the transitional government of Biafra, TGB, under the direction of the peoples of Biafra nation, of the peoples of the nation of Biafra, in order to conduct the governmental affairs of Biafra. By that time, we have not even started talking about dissolution or dissolving or whatever. No. This, according to the law, it says the Biafra government in exile will come back home and join the Biafra de facto government in the homeland together and form what is called the Transitional Government of Biafra, TGB, under the direction of the peoples of the nation of Biafra, in order to do what? In order, follow the mouse, in order to conduct the governmental affairs of Biafra, guided by the Biafra Charter, for a period not to exceed 4 years. Now, when the BRGIE, Biafra Republic Government in Exile, will merge together with the Biafra de facto government in the homeland,